is Daniel Robinson. I attend AC Flora, and I'm planning to major in geology at College of Charleston.
Good job. Hello, everyone. David Robson here. This is just a quick video to everyone who have donated so far to my GoFundMe here. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. God bless you for all the donations you have done over the years, the many blessings you have given to me and my family. I would never, ever, ever forget it. It's something that's very dear to my heart. Everything I have done to this point, couldn't have been possible without your guys' help. So, again, I want to say that up front. Thank you so much. You guys helped me from the time I went out to Arizona. Didn't know I didn't have the ability to organize anything in my life, and so without the financial backing of you guys, I would not been able to do all the things I've done. The 50 weeks of desert searches, for instance, the flyer distribution, the city distribution, city searches and the flyer distributions and the desert search. So, and following leads. So, the whole numerous of things, I would not have been able to do that. So, I just want to say thank you up front for actually helping me in this endeavor. I just want to start off here. Your donation, your support, again, helped me to remain in Arizona. And I like to say with my boots on the ground, and I use that terminology because, being a veteran, I found myself leaving the deserts of Afghanistan and end up in the desert of Arizona to search for my son. And so, like I said, you guys helped me to remain in Arizona. I have a home here in South Carolina. I had a young daughter at the time when Daniel went missing. And so I had the obligations of my home, but I decided to get out into Arizona. I was living in a hotel. My daughter told me, hey, look, told me about a GoFundMe. I didn't know anything about GoFundMe. And like I said, you guys, I reach out to you to say, hey, can you help me remain in Arizona, keep my boots on the ground? You guys have done that. So a lot of funding went that direction to keep me there. And I'm glad you guys did, because then I was able to, like I said, organize my searches. I started off in the city. I had a city search. I used to always also go to up into the Sonoran Desert with my binoculars before I started the desert search. But in the city, going out to hospitals, to mental health wards. I mean, all across Arizona, just to make sure my son wasn't there. Of course, I had a lot of issues with the privacy laws, but I've been getting too much information that I would like to have gotten at the time. But you guys helped me, like I said, keep my boots on the ground to do so. Later, because law enforcement wasn't doing any work of going to search for Daniel properly, I had to start my own desert searching. And when I started my own desert searching, you guys, again, you have been there. I updated my GoFundMe to get funding so I could be able to start the desert searches. I needed certain equipment that I learned as time went by. We started off with no equipment much. We didn't get far, and then we had needed equipment like the desert vehicles, like the UTVs I was utilizing. Once I had a team, we had to make sure we had equipment like radios and canopies and you name it. Logistic wise, of course, it was things like the food and stuff like that. So you guys help me pay for the desert equipment. You helped me pay for logistics, you name it, out there in that desert. And also, and simultaneously helped me continue my city search after I left the desert. So that stuff was still ongoing at the time. Then you guys helped me with the flyer distribution. I started putting out flyer distribution, flyers all over Arizona, from Buckeye, Arizona, and also in Phoenix, Tempe, and you guys have helped me supply, because it's very expensive. It was easy for me to pay over $500 or $600 a week in flyers to try to get them out there all over the place. So you guys helped me out with that. Also, you helped me follow leads as this case went by. There was a lot of leads in Daniel case. I went to Flagstaff, to Sedona, just traveling to follow up leads that people say, hey, I think I've seen your son. Those type things that would actually lead to getting some of those answers that I was looking for at the time. So again, your donations is very crucial. But this is stuff we're utilizing as time go by. I was able to hire my private investigator, Jeff McGrath. You guys remember that he started off as saying he wanted to do pro bono, but later decided he wanted to be paid. So you guys have helped me with that, be able to pay Mr. McGrath for his services. And not only that, to also be able to get other investigators to reach out to other investigators. I haven't necessarily had to pay them, but I was able to get out there and research and find other investigators in different forms. So what I'm saying is, you guys helped me pay for that. Pay for Mr. McGrath and his whole entire team that came out into the desert to do their work, to make sure they had equipment themselves for their work they're doing out there, the stuff I had to pay for. So again, you guys help with your donations, went a long way. So with your donations, we was able to find out those human remains out there with the searches. We was able to solve a case for the Maricopa County sheriffs. We brought, let's say, some form of closure for other families. So your dollars went really well towards that to help other families as well. Well, and like I said, just the sheer fact that it was out there to be able to do that kind of work, and also, like I said, help other families, was very crucial when it comes to your funding. Again, from that point, was able to put things like a day of remembrance, the events that I had in Arizona and Phoenix, to bring awareness for other missing American cases. You was able to help me travel to get to talk to back and forth to legislatures in Arizona, to try to craft some legislation to get the cell phone pings, for instance, for Daniel, and also to try to relieve some of the pressure, or bring some new tools for law enforcement and families to be able to get faster answers for loved ones. That failed, but then I ended up started crafting my own legislation. That's something we'll talk about later. But and also, you guys, to help other families was very crucial, because a lot of times, just because I was going through it and I was able to, be blessed by you guys donating and keep me in Arizona and keep me active and keep me, giving me the ability to do things I was doing. Some families just didn't have that. So I was willing to be able to share the wealth, in a sense, what you guys have been blessing my family with, the support. So I really appreciate that. Also, when the funding started getting low, of course, you guys, again, I want everybody to look at that GoFundMe and say the amount that we got so far was actually money being used over the years. It's not money that has been sitting still and we wasn't utilizing it. Because again, when I remained in Arizona, when I started my city search, when I started my desert search, when I had to get equipment, when I had to follow these leads and the flyer distributions and the private investigator, all that money was rolling and actually moving as you guys was bringing the dollars into the GoFundMe. They were being utilized. For me to remain in Arizona, that still was there. I had to get a 1-bedroom apartment to remain, because it lowered the cost for me to be in a hotel room. It was very expensive. So I got a 1-bedroom apartment. They gave me the ability to cook and get food, to cut down the expenses. So it's a lot with that. So like I said, but the funding started getting low because the donations started getting low. That's why you look at the goal that I have. That goal been there for a long time, for at least over a year or so now. That same goal is there, because the donation, though I really appreciate everybody that's donated right now, I'm not reaching that goal fast enough. And I'm not reaching that goal. When I'm not reaching that goal, what I end up doing is causing me to, of course, I don't mind doing it. I'm a retired military guy, but I'm living off of retirement pay. So I had to start utilizing my own dollars in conjunction with that too, to take away from my home and my daughter, who I was taking care of here in South Carolina. But that's something I need to do for my family, and also because of my passion to help other families. So, make a long story, over the years, I started gaining my own debt. I had gained my own debt of $70,000, over $70,000, but right now is around the $70,000 mark, where I have come out of pocket. And so I have those things over my head. Like I said, the funding started going really slow. It's continued to this point, has been moving really slow. But I'm very grateful for everything you guys have doing to help me. So it's not saying to say that I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful. You guys only have to give me anything, and so I really appreciate the ones who have actually donated and believe in everything I'm doing. At least I'm trying to do. So I really appreciate it. And I want to say that as well. But I had to leave Arizona, something I vowed not to do. I said, hey, I'm not leaving until I find my son. I really meant it, and I really mean it. It's just that financially, of course, donations started getting slower. My own dollars in my own life has gone slow, and so I had to leave. I had to make a choice. I had to make a hard choice, out of lose my home in South Carolina or leave, and I had to leave. And so again, I left Arizona, but I did not stop. I still continue to, you guys still continue to donate, and I continue to use my own funds as well, to try to get events. That's why I went to back to Arizona this year. on the 12th to do my own desert searching. But while I'm out in the desert search, I want to make sure it count. I was able to talk to law enforcement because I know I didn't have any more money to keep Daniel's stuff in the storage any longer because I had bills in Arizona and I'm living in South Carolina at the time, and I couldn't afford everything all at once. So I had to make a decision. How can I get those things out of the storage so I don't have to pay this debt every month anymore? And it's hard. And I'll be honest with you, the hardest thing was to let Daniel things go. When you let your loved ones stuff go, it's almost like you're letting them go. So it was very difficult mentally and emotionally. Anybody who's going through what I'm going through can understand that. It was very hard and very difficult, but it was a choice that I eventually had to make. And again, I had to make the funding that you guys helped me with. I had to make it count that week. That was the whole week before coming up to the 12th. And you guys probably remember that search on April 12th when Mr. Petito, Gabby Petito's father, Joseph, joined in with me on that search. But on that week of that search, like I said, the dollars that you guys donated, I want to make sure it's stretched, and I always do. What I did is make sure I'm there a few days before that search, and I set it up where I can talk to law enforcement and get some things done. I was very successful. I was in a meeting with them on the 10th and on the 9th. And on the 10th, we was able to get them to take custody of those things that I had in the storage so I can close those storage off and we'll have these bills, but actually at the same time force them to give me a deal to do the right things in Daniel's case, which they haven't so far. So I'm really going to say again, the reason why I'm listening to this video, because I'm going to need your help when I'm going to say at the end. But as it stands at the time, I really believe what the Buckeye Police Department said. They said it was going to help. We had a new private investigator, investigator at Buckeye Police Department, and we have a new police chief. So I thought there was going to be a reset with the Buckeye Police Department. We have a better relationship. They would actually do the right thing. So I gave those items over to the Buckeye Police Department. It's on body cam and all that stuff, and I will share with you guys one day in the near future. But if once I get those things back from a FOIA request, but the thing is, I trust the Buckeye Police Department to do their job, but that trip itself came from your donations. And I'm saying I was able to get in their face. I was getting them to agree with some stuff. Again, like I said, I was able to get Daniel stuff out of storage. All that costs money that I just didn't have the travel. So like y'all guys helped me travel back and forth to Arizona as needed. To get in law enforcement face, because we already know law enforcement will not move a muscle unless you're there in the face. They would not, phone calls will not make law enforcement act. So I was able to get there before that search and do those things, and they was actually acting. But now I'm back in the hole again because now I'm not able to get to Arizona like I would like to, and it's keeping me here. And as long as I'm not in their face, they would not actually do the stuff that they need to do because they need to. Now they've got custody of their things again. They need to do the forensic work. They need to test. There's all this kind of stuff they need to do. But I need to be there to make them do it. Because if I'm not there, I can call and they can tell me anything on the phone or email. But when I'm in their face, it's a different ball game. So again, like I said, you guys have been helping me do that, staying back and forth Arizona. I'm actually continue to donate because I really need the funding to be in their face as much as I can. I live in South Carolina. I cannot live in Arizona right now because that was too expensive now. But I'm living in South Carolina, but I would like to be able to go back to Arizona as needed to get in their face and get them to do the things they should be doing. But also, like I said, with my hardship, I cannot get enough funding actually, but I need all the help. I need the help I can to get off this $70,000 debt because that is, like I say again, it's a hindrance to me personally. It's hurting me financially here at home, but at the same time, it's handicapping me from being able to do the things I want to do. I wanted to get my Daniel Robinson Foundation off the ground fully. It's a true 501c3, but we don't even have the funding to even do anything right now. And so it's just stagnated, and I don't like that. It has my son's name. That's the reason why I created the Daniel Robinson Foundation. But the other part is I cannot really get out and do those things because of the financial debt that's over my head. I have over $70,000 debt, but I'm probably almost right back at 70,000 because I was able to bring something down. But I need your help. If you guys have anything you want to donate to try to help me get off this debt, I would truly appreciate it because what it would do for me is give me the ability to be able to free up money where I can go out in Arizona, get in law enforcement face and get them to do the things that they should be doing. But I can't do it because I keep finding myself behind. I'm just trying to find enough money just to survive in a way. I'm still running for Congress. I'm still doing, I'm doing so a whole lot of things right now simultaneously. And because everything I have done, I haven't taken a vacation. The last vacation I ever had was before the COVID-19 epidemic. And that was only vacation. When I say vacation, that's vacation to me is like every year be able to go down to the beach and get in water because I love water. You guys keep hearing me say that a lot, but I like to be in water. For instance, I like to be do a lot of stuff like that. So I like to be around water, and but I have been able to do that for years now, since my son went missing, since the COVID-19 thing, and so I'm not taking vacations. Everything I'm doing is for my son, is doing for other missing Americans, and then it's also for the whole United States because I'm running for office. And everybody know I'm running for office only because, well, not only, but one of the major reasons why I was running for office in the beginning was what caused me to run for office is Daniel Robinson, my son, and also the families who are missing. We have 600,000 Americans missing every year. And I have found I wrote legislation. I'm even not a elected official yet. I wrote legislation that I would like to see, and I've already got one right now for state that's going to be hopefully get implemented here in South Carolina first. I'm running out to Arizona, but I have legislation also a federal form of that as well that I'm taking to Congress with me to try to get it here implemented in the United States. But I need help, you guys. I'm just one person. I don't have a lot of teams. I don't have a bunch of people to help me get this work done. But saying financially, that's the only way that can happen. So if you guys can please talk to people to help me get the word out. I need donations. I need donations. Like I need to reach this goal. If I can reach this goal really fast, that'll help me get out of this financial debt. It'll also help me be able to move and do the things I really like to do. Because I start seeing myself have to move things a lot slower. You don't see me do as much lives because financially I can't do everything at one time without the donation. So please, you guys, if you can, just please talk to your friends, your family. If you got $5, $10, whatever you can spare to try to help me get off the $70,000 debt is one of the most important parts first. Get out of this debt first, and then also try to continue my work because I do have an event that I'm trying to push for around May next year, April, May time frame next year, and what it's going to be in Tempe, Arizona, and it's going to be a 2-day event. It's in Tempe, Arizona, and also in Buckeye, Arizona. It's a 2-day event. I'm really trying to put together with someone else and try to get this thing rolling. But it's going to be for my son, but also for all the families out there. Again, like I said, everything I'm doing is for people, not for David Robinson. Though David Robinson took a financial suffering and financial loss that I'm taking right now, I'm still having you guys in mind, your family members, everyone out there. That's what I'm doing it for. It's not about me. So, but I need your help, and I can understand that I cannot do it without financial help, and also support. So you guys can share. Please do that. I truly appreciate you, and God bless you. So thank you so much. I'm gonna jump off right now, and take care of yourselves. And I hope you have a wonderful Veterans Day, because I will be in the Veterans Day parade tomorrow, believe it or not. And then uh, I have a campaign launch on Veterans Day, so pray for me on that. Trying to push everything together. So thank you so much, and God bless you. We'll talk soon.